Let's take a look at this cool specialty Gibraltar cymbal attachment, which is great for adding a smaller cymbal to your kit. We're going to review this, look at exactly when you'd want to use it and when you'd want to use something more robust. Gibraltar's official name for this is the 12-inch cymbal arm with rotating boom rod clamp. If that wasn't confusing enough, if you go on Musician's Friend or Sweetwater, they both have different names for it. One of them calls it the medium cymbal boom ratchet assembly, and the other calls it the medium cymbal boom ratchet attachment. But I find the best way to identify this is based on the model number, which is SC-CMBRA. I'll include the actual model number and the official title in the description below. Now, when you go on Gibraltar's website, they actually have two different sizes for how long the arm is. In one place, they call it 12 inches. In another place, on the same page, they call it 10 inches. Now, I actually measured it, and if you go from the very back end all the way up to about here, it's 12 inches. So it's 10 inches to here and 12 inches all the way up. This hardware, it's meant to attach to other cymbal stand boom arms through this little piece right over here. Now, those other boom arms, they support two different sizes. They can be 10.5 millimeter or 12.7 millimeter. So this should work with most of your other cymbal stands. As noted, this attachment, it is meant for smaller cymbals. The additional weight from the attachment plus the cymbal plus the force from you striking it, it's going to put more strain on that primary cymbal stand that you're using. So you want to make sure you're not going to cause anything that's going to cause breakage on that primary stand, especially if you're using a cheaper stand like the lower end Gibraltar's or Sound Percussion. For cymbals that are bigger and heavier, Gibraltar does have other options available, ones that will instead attach to the downpipe of a stand. You'll also have to think about how you're going to have this positioned and mounted, and if the cymbal is going to be ultimately accessible from that cymbal stand boom arm. For example, for my crashes I have right up front here, the arm is angled down and away, and the cymbal is going to ultimately blocked once I have it up there. I can kind of finagle it, but there's kind of better options for that case. Where I find it does work well is for my China stand over here. I have my China set basically flat, and in my case, the boom arm is actually angled up a little bit, which makes it more accessible, and it's a little bit easier to put this attachment there and have the cymbal be within reach. So for my configuration, I'm going to have an 18-inch China on my stand, and then for the attachment piece, I'm going to have a 12-inch China. 12 inches is probably as large as you want to go with this attachment piece. I should also note that I'm using a more heavy-duty pearl stand. That thing is much more robust and it's far less likely that it's going to break. Let's see how sturdy this thing actually is once we start playing on it. So overall, I think the attachment's working really good. It's nice and sturdy, but there is one major problem with it. The China is flopping all over the place. It's really hard for me to control it. So we are going to try doing something. We're going to swap out the felts and sleeve that it came with this more robust version here, which has a hard plastic top to it. I'll include a link in the description with more information on this. So overall, I think this thing works great, especially for its intended purpose. If you're going to be using a cymbal that you're only going to hit occasionally, then it should be good for you right out of the package, so long as you have an accessible boom arm. If you're going to have a cymbal on here that you're going to be hitting fast, it's going to be like a staccato style sound, then you're definitely going to want to upgrade the cymbal sleeve and felts on it. Now, while I was playing, you notice I did have that 12-inch China. This thing I really like as a small effect China. This is a Zildjian Oriental, and if you want to hear more about how this thing sounds compared to its bigger brothers, a 16-inch and an 18-inch, I do have a 3-way comparison that you can check out right over here or in the description below. Until next time, peace.